Okay, welcome everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about, CERB is ending, now what? I think a lot of us are asking that question, trying to figure out what is it that we're going to do now, and how are we going to continue getting through this crisis we call COVID-19 right now, right? Before I get started, I just want to say that in the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, being Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani, as well as the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda, and the Métis Nation Region 3. And I just want to welcome all of the people who make our homes here at Treaty 7, this region in southern Alberta, to this wonderful afternoon, a snowy day where we get to rejuvenate the earth in a blanket of cold and refresh for next summer. So I'm so excited to get started and talking about CERB. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Momentum. And of course, we are a community that works with low-income Calgarians or people living on low income. And we really partner with lots of people in our community to create a thriving local economy for all, right? And we like to promote financial wellness and really just, supporting the local economy together. And I think that's so important for us now, especially in this time, to be able to join together and just continue to grow our community. We have a couple of different programs at Momentum that I want to tell you a little bit about. So first we have our money management program. And so that's 5 different courses that you can take. And at the end, you earn a certificate. And so those are courses like banking and budgeting. We have one on credit, consumerism, and one on assets. And so those run on Monday nights. It is a Zoom. So if you want to take it from the comfort of your home, you're more than welcome to do that. We do require you to register, and it runs from 6:30 to 8:30. Again, we have one on in person as well, and that's Tuesdays from 1:30 to 3:30 at Momentum. Registration for that, of course, is limited, right, due to the COVID restrictions. However, you can go ahead and register for these events up to a few weeks in advance. Just visit momentum.org, and we do have the actual link right there for you, okay? Of course, we also have some great on-demand money management courses as well. So right now, if you go to momentum.org, you're also able to take both our budgeting and our credit courses on demand. You can do them in the privacy of your own home by yourself. They usually take about an hour. And of course, our programming is free. So it is something you can engage in if you're interested. If you're struggling to save, we have a great program for you, okay? We have partnered with an agency called Cuber. It's an app, and what they are is a great savings challenge app, and you can go in there. There's more information on momentum.org, and you can also go right into Cuber app and look up the Momentum Savings Challenge. Really, the bones of it is if you save $40 per month for about 10 months, you're eligible to qualify for up to $100 given to you from us at Momentum. And it's all geared around changing and success and just looking at your behaviors around changing. So it's a really great opportunity if anybody's interested. Visit momentum.org. Just a little bit of housekeeping before I keep going. We usually sit at about a 20-minute presentation, okay? There will be a question and answer period at the end. However, if you have something super pressing during the middle, just let me know and go ahead and type it in your question or answer feature. We have the chat feature available as well. However, things sometimes get lost in the chat, so it's much easier for me if you have a question to put it right in the question and answer period, okay? We are all muted, so if you have anything that you want to say, maybe just let me know and then you can unmute yourself. As well, we are not only recording this presentation for future, but we're also broadcasting on YouTube Live right now. So welcome to anybody that might be watching us on YouTube Live. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit now about what it looks like. We all we knew a lot about CERB. There was so much information. The information was changing daily with CERB. And you know what, y'all? I'm just going to tell you it's not a lot different with this CRB. So the CRB is a new benefit program that the government is looking at, but I did want to let you know that the information that I have today is really only effective as of today. Okay, it could change at any time. So I really recommend that if you are looking for any more information, to visit the website canada.ca/coronavirus. Okay, that is where you are going to get the most up-to-date information on any of the new benefits. And there are 3 of them that the government has looked at launching for us here in Canada to access. And the first one is called the Canada Recovery Benefit. The second one is called the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit. And the last one is called the Canada Recovery Caregiving Benefit. So I just want to also just put it out there and let you guys know that I'm not an expert in this. I'm still learning all about it just as you guys are. It is literally, I think this benefit has only been released for 2 weeks at the max, according to the government. And so I don't have all of the expert information, but I have some pretty good bones. What I do really recommend, and I'll talk about it again at the end, is on November 18th. It's 2 Money Talks from now. We are actually having a specialist from the Canada Revenue Agency, or from the Canada government, coming in. Bonnie McIntyre is her name, and she's actually going to come in and have a whole entire session on the new benefits that are available. She will be the expert and will have so much more information than I will. And so I really recommend that you come back in a couple of weeks, make sure you're registered, make sure you give the link to all of your friends and anybody that you know, so that everybody can come and get firsthand information right from the government, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and move on here. So in this slide, you can see we have some of the basic information, on what to expect on the new Canada Recovery Benefit. So the biggest thing is that it's lumped in 2-week periods. You can kind of see there, okay? A really great thing about these new benefits is that they are actually going to tax them at source. So we've been able to lose some of that fear around, oh no, what am I going to do come tax time? They've given me all this money and I haven't been able to save. So it's kind of a really great thing. The government has implemented taxes at the source, okay? So before, when you used to get your money, like the $2,000, and that was it, now you can see it's every 2 weeks, you're eligible for up to $1,000, but it's $900 after tax, okay? So they really have worked hard to ensure that that was in there, right? You can see that we have some of the qualifiers there. So for instance, for the CERB, you have to have had a 50% reduction in your average weekly income compared to last year. So that's one of the largest changes. Okay, you can see the old CERB, it's right there on the screen. You had to have stopped working because of COVID. Now it's if you had to have had a 50% reduction in your average weekly income. So maybe you've been cut from, full-time to quarter-time or something like that, as long as you've had that 50% reduction in your average weekly income, you're eligible to apply for it. Okay, if you do go over that, you do have to reimburse the CRA for 50% 50 cents for every dollar on the CRB dollar that you earned if your net income is above 38,000. Okay, so you really want to be aware of that. So even if your income was reduced by 50%, let's say you made 100K last year and your income was reduced by 50%, well, that's still 50K. So that's over the cutoff of 38,000. So you're going to have to reimburse the government, okay? So you really want to be aware of these parameters and know exactly what it is that you qualify for, or even if you don't qualify, okay? You have to have worked less than 50% of your scheduled work week for the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit. So this one is a little bit different in that in this one, you're looking at if you are suffering from or you have had to self-isolate, okay, for COVID-19. This one is issued in 1 week period, okay? So it's not just issued for months at a time, it's 1 week at a time that you're eligible for this one, okay? Again, luckily our taxes will be held at the base. And then lastly, the third one is the Canada Recovery Caregiving Benefit. So this is when it's looking at all of us that might have to take some time off if someone else in our family has come down with COVID-19 or has been affected by having to self-isolate or things like that. This one is similar to the CRSB in that it is in 1 week periods. Okay, the difference here is you have a maximum of up to 26 weeks per household. Okay, so you want to think of your household as a unit in this one. Whereas with the CRSB, it's a maximum of 2 weeks that you can take, okay, for COVID-19. Again, Like I said, I really do recommend coming back in a couple of weeks to get more info, but let's move on and see what else I found to talk about today, okay? So if you want more information on it, I obviously recommend go to canada.ca. That is where the most up-to-date, most current information will be. And what I did here is I just kind of took a screenshot from the Government of Canada's website, just so that we can kind of get an understanding of where to look for these benefits. Because often people will say, well, go look for these benefits, but you get lost looking for them, right? So this is a snapshot of what canada.ca looks like. And you can see right there in purple, it says transition to new COVID-19 benefits. So that's where you would click to get the information you're looking for, okay? So once you've clicked there, it tells you a little bit about what happens after CERB, okay? So after the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit, now what, okay? So they've got all kinds of information there, telling you how to transition from CERB to EI, talks to you a little bit about the new recovery benefits, and then it's got a great question and answer section. So this is kind of what the next page will look like once you have gone to canada.ca. So what I did was I pulled a little bit of information right off of the website and kind of put them here for us. So you can see this link right under the Canada Recovery Benefit and how it's new. The link right underneath will take you right to the main information page for the CRB. Okay, so like it says there, the CRB, it gives income support to those that were employed or even self-employed that have been directly affected by COVID-19 and are not entitled to EI benefits, okay? So I highlighted that in red because it's really important to remember that you have to have been directly affected by COVID-19 and aren't eligible for EI, okay? And that is the first qualifier for the Canada Recovery Benefit. Okay. The next main point that I really want to point out is that if your situation continues past 2 weeks, you'll need to reapply again. So what that means is any money that you're eligible for under the CRB is only issued in a 2-week period. So it's not like the CERB where it was issued and every 4 weeks you had to do your update. This is on a 2-week period and you have to reapply every 2 weeks. Okay, and then you are eligible for up to 13 periods. Okay, so that's 26 weeks you're eligible for this benefit. And remember, I highlighted in the first slide, it's really exciting that the taxes are coming off at the base. So it's not something that we have to feel a lot of stress about. When you click on that, also on the page is this section here. And the cool thing about it is you're able to go and you can click right there. Who can apply? You can click how much money can I get? What periods can you apply for? How to apply? And they've got all this great information that is broken down point by point, and you're able to navigate through each one. Okay. The next benefit we'll chat a little bit about is the Canada Recovery Caregiving benefit, okay? And again, I have the link right there if you want to access that link, and that will take you right to the page all about the CRCB. Okay, so this one, what it does is it gives income support to people who have been employed or self-employed. And what they are is they're unable to work because they must care for a child under 12 years old. So I'm going to note that again, your child must be under 12, or a family member who needs some sort of supervised care. Okay, so this is obviously if school or some sort of program or any facility that they might be in, if it's an elder in your family, gets closed, okay, or if it's unavailable to them due to COVID-19. So if there was an outbreak in one of these institutions and they need to come home, or if they themselves are sick, or if they are required to self-isolate. And so this is important because you can't just decide, I want to self-isolate and take these benefits. You have to actually be required by somebody in authority, whether it's a school principal, a doctor, a nurse, some sort of healthcare provider. You must be required by somebody to take self-isolating precautions. Okay, and so then again, this is a benefit that is issued to you for 1 week at a time. Okay, so if your situation continues past 1 week, like it says in red there, you'll need to apply again. Okay, so again, this isn't an issue. This isn't a situation where you get it and you get it for 6 weeks at a time. It's 1 week at a time, and you have to apply every time you re-need it. Okay. you can apply for this a total up to 26 weeks, which is nice because, some of us might have more than one child and they might need to isolate at different times and you just have no idea what that looks like, right? So again, it's a $500. So again, taxes will be withheld at source, which is nice. And you have to apply, okay, every week that you need it. And you can apply for a total of 26 weeks per household. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Just like the CRB, the page will look like this when you get there, okay? You'll be able to click on who can apply, how much can you get. So if you missed any of this information, once you go to the website, you'll be able to see it right there, okay? And then the last new benefit I want to tell you a little bit about is the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit. Again, the link that's underneath there will take you right to the CRA website that talks about this benefit and how you can apply for it, okay? So the difference between the Canada Recover Caregiving Benefit and the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit is this one is designed for you. Okay, so the one where it is about caregiving is when you are caregiving for somebody else. The Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit gives income support to people who are employed or even self-employed that are unable to work themselves because they need to be at home, because they are sick, or they have to self-isolate due to COVID-19. Okay, or even if you have some sort of underlying health condition that puts you at greater risk from COVID-19. Okay. The thing about this is just like the caregiver benefit, this is something that has to be mandated or put in place by somebody in authority. Again, a doctor or a nurse, or if your employer says to you, you can't be here because of something, you're sick, COVID-19. It can't just be, oh, I have a slight cough, I'm going to stay home due to what I think is COVID. There has to be reason given to you. Okay. And so if this happens, you are able to apply for it every week for 2 weeks. Okay. So the eligibility runs for 2 weeks. So it's different in the caregiver that was 26. This is 2 weeks. Okay. But it is that if your situation changes and continues past 1 week, you do have to reapply. Okay, so again, it's not something that you just get for 2 weeks. You have to reapply for the second, should you stay home for that second week. Okay, and again, taxes are taken off at source, which is good. But like I said, it is 1 week and you can only take 2 weeks between, like it says on the screen, September 27th, 2020 and September 25th, 2021, because they're assuming once you have COVID, you've just gotten it once and you don't need to have the recovery sickness benefit again. Okay. Just like 2 slides ago, when you click on that link, it will take you and it will give you this as well. If you have any more questions, you can definitely navigate it. Okay. So we've learned a little bit about all of the new benefits that the government has put out there, but the question I think is larger than that, y'all, right? So sure, we can apply for all these new benefits, but maybe we don't qualify for any of them, and now just have to move into life after COVID-19, right? So we have to move past this coping period of dealing with what is happening to us and live into our adaptation of new reality, right? And so we might have to look at what our expenses are, right? We might have to think of some of our expenses that we have and how it is that we can bring them under wraps, right? So we're going to think about some of our expenses, whether they're monthly fixed, which is an expense that happens every month and doesn't change. We're going to look at our monthly variable expenses. And these are expenses that happen monthly, but they might change. For instance, groceries, right? And we're going to look at our irregular expenses, okay? And we're going to think, what happens every year? What happens every couple of months? These are things like birthdays. These are things like Christmas is a huge irregular expense that, every year it comes in December, but for some reason every year we're all, slammed by it and forgetting that it's here. And oh no, we need to buy all these purchases for people, right? So these we need to start evaluating these expenses in our lives, right? And we need to think, okay, what of these expenses is a need and what of these expenses is a want? Right? So once we've figured out what our variable and our fixed and our irregular expenses are, we need to kind of categorize them into needs and wants. And y'all, it's so plain, and that a need is a must-have. A need is something we need to live, right? Our food, our clothing, and our shelter. And wants, y'all, is everything else. Okay, so we need to have a little bit of room for both wants and needs in our lives, but we just really need to be effective and efficient in deciding what is what and how it is that we're going to navigate each of these, post CERB, right? And how are we going to distribute our money in a way that meets the needs that we have, right? And so a great way to do that is really to look at some of the ways that we can reduce our expenses. And so the first way to reduce your expenses, now that we're on this side of the CERB, is to know what your expenses are. Okay, so know what category they're going to fit in. Understand whether or not they are truly needs or wants and what it is that you're going to do with them. Okay, another way to reduce your expenses is to only use cash. Okay, so just take out the cash that you need to pay for each of your expenses and use it as you need. Okay, don't just carry your bank card around because y'all, it is so easy to tap away the money that we have in our account without even realizing it. Okay. Think of the 24-hour rule. We love this rule at Momentum. And basically, what it is, when you see a purchase that you want to make, go home, take 24 hours and think about it and decide, you know what, is this really something that I need? Okay. And if you still wake up the next morning and decide, yep, I need this purchase, then you know it's a purchase you need to make. Okay. Stop, look, and listen. This is another great tool that we love to talk about at Momentum. Stop, look around, think about the purchase. Is there anywhere else I can get this purchase, right? Is this a good value for my money, right? Is there anything else that I cannot buy if I make this purchase? And then, y'all, I want you to listen to yourself. Okay, really think and feel. And what am I saying? Am I saying no, 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 I'm not sure I need this? Am I asking what is the return policy on this? Or am I feeling confident that, yep, me and my family, we need this purchase right now so I can do it, right? So really just listen to yourself and your emotions around your purchases. Okay. Another great way to reduce your expenses is to make a list. Okay, if you're going to the grocery store, make a plan for your meals and make a list. And more than that, y'all, you need to stick to your list. Okay, impulse buying is one of the biggest budget busters I have come across in my time here. And I know that if we make a list and we stick to it, we are far more able to keep our expenses at a level that we can afford than if we just go in on a hungry day and start shopping for food we want. Okay. Couponing is another great way, right? So really search for the sales. Okay, look for what's out there, find the coupons for the items that you need, and really clip those coupons. Make a list of the stores you want to go to, and just be aware of where it is that you're shopping, shop around. I just want to say real quick, you don't spend money to save money. So on that note, when you're looking at a sale, just because it's a sale, if you didn't intend to buy it, doesn't mean you should buy it, right? So that's why I'm having a list, stopping and looking and really being aware of what you're buying and using coupons and really just being that wise consumer is a great way to keep your expenses low. All right. So the last thing I was super excited to tell you guys about is this wonderful website called Prosper Canada. And on Prosper Canada, they have some fantastic tools right under the toolkit tab all around budgeting and saving and expense tracking. And they've got all these wonderful things. But one of my favorite ones is right under this toolkit. They've got this Soaring with Savings program that really just helps you look at what savings is, understanding what savings is, and really taking those first few steps and working out what a savings account might look like for you. And it's really hard coming out of such a tough time like COVID and recovering and trying to understand what our spending looks like to even consider spending. But y'all, I'm going to challenge you to think, and if COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's that we need some sort of emergency fund, right? That we need some sort of, base that we can rely on if something like this ever was to come again. And so what a great way to start than to visit Prosper Canada and really just find out some of their savings tips there. So next month, November, is a fantastic month and we love it. We love to celebrate November here at Momentum. Basically what it is Financial Literacy Month. And so what we decided to do for Money Talks is have 2 special sessions all around financial literacy. Okay, so on November 1st, we've got a great guest speaker coming in to talk to us about Financial Literacy Month, talk to us about all the programs around Calgary that promote financial literacy, any programs that you might want to engage in that can help you learn a little bit more about your financial wellness and what that looks like, and really just how to engage in the local economy of Calgary and learn about financial literacy. And then, like I said, on November 18th, we have Bonnie McIntyre from the CRA coming in to really talk about, the financial wellness and the benefits that the government can offer and all of the ins and outs in CRB. Okay, so please, like I said, visit us at momentum.org. You can see the rest of the website there to register for any more of our future Money Talks. Please, like I said, distribute this information to as many people as you can, because we really want Bonnie to answer all the questions that are out there, because I know there's so many of them. But that being said, my time here is finished today. Does anybody have any questions, or is there anything else that people kind of wanted to bring up and talk a little bit about, or really just engage with? Hi, Nikki. I noticed that your hand is raised. Did you have a question you wanted to ask? Oh, you missed the webinar. And where can you find it? Yeah, you bet. No problem. So if you go actually, you can see it right there on the screen. It says momentum.org/publications/momentum-webinars. Okay, so you can definitely go there. We have a listing of the upcoming and the previous. So this will be there. I do need a little bit of time to be able to get it up onto our website, so it might not be there in the next hour. However, if you have ever been to Momentum's YouTube channel, this is broadcasting live. So as soon as we're done here, you'll be able to click on the link through YouTube as well to watch it. That's great. Thank you. And remember to come back for the next couple, especially the 18th when Bonnie is here. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.